Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Watching in the shadows, waiting, biding my time to make sure you were worthy. And now it begins. Foxman, Zoo-Girl, Triclops, Madam Magic. You fools think you can stop me? You never had a chance!
Spells and superheroes.
And good evening, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com. And tonight we are back to talking about crowdfunded comics. And we're going to have a lot of fun with this one because if you are a comics fan of any number of years, you've probably dabbled in some role-playing game. You know what a 20-sided dice is. 20-sided die. I don't care. It's one. I'm going to call it a dice. I just do. We all do. No one but a grammar you know what, calls it a die, and Caesar. So with that, we are going to start looking at spells and superheroes. And with us, we have Mr. Gingy Gingerton, no stranger to the chats. How are you doing, Gingy?
I'm good. Thank you, RJ. Thanks for having me. I'm very happy to be.
This looks like a fun project. I'm not kidding you on this one. This is like, the superheroes, the role-playing game mix, and reading down through it, I'm literally, I gotta look behind me, see if all my fecal matter has dropped out, because it has like literally shocked the what out of me at the deals that are going on with this. So
okay,
so let's just get into it. I mean, who are these characters, and what is going on? Are they characters in a role playing game? Have they been thrown into a role playing game? I mean,
great question. Yep. So the premise of the book is it's the deranged dungeon master, the bad guy over here. He's captured 4 of Earth's mightiest heroes, these superheroes: Foxman, Zoo-Girl, Triclops, and Madam Magic, and he's forcing them to play a game, and it's a game for their lives. It's basically, I kind of do the pitch is it's a mixture of superheroes, D&D with a little bit of Saw. In terms of the game is for keeps.
Okay, so it's kind of like Contest of Champions was for old Marvel series. Don't way back. The games master had collected a bunch of superheroes and hit them against each other. Very much like Secret Wars did as well, for that matter.
Okay, very cool. I don't know that, but all right.
But I like the idea. But I was a big fan of the Dungeons and Dragon cartoon. If you ever get, I hate talking to you kids because I keep coming up with these references that I know you're like, blank stares are coming.
I've seen. I don't think I've seen the show, but I have seen clips of it. Just browsing D&D art. It just like it was like a 70s style animation. Is it an older one?
Yeah. It was very, very early 80s, probably 79 to 81 kind of era. And yeah, it was it was when Dungeons and Dragons was truly at its peak. It was just it started out as live action. That's what I loved about it. It was like I was a kid, and I was like, I really got pulled into these shows where they started out with live action, and then the kids became cartoons. There were only a couple of them like that. Like there was like the Banana Splits episode or a movie, Dungeons and Dragons, and Kid Video, which nobody remembers but me.
There was a really great movie I grew up on, Macaulay Culkin. It's the same thing. It starts off, yes, that was one of my most favorite movies growing up. I still say that there's a little pirate book. Oh, snuggle up with a good book, darling. He says that to Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes, I remember that.
I love that movie.
Now I'm gonna have to go put that in my Netflix queue or something and see if it's out there. So these are obviously superhero pastiches. You know, they're not they're meant to evoke different characters that already exist in some form or another. I mean, you know, Triclops. Yeah, that's funny. It's almost like this would have felt at home at Parody Press. But is it humor?
It is. It's meant to be a joke. What we're doing with this book here is, it's funny that you said it looks fun. We're calling it a fun shot. The whole point of these mini comics. This is the first in a line of mini comics I want to do. It's a complete story, and with that, we're calling it a fun shot as opposed to a one shot. You know, you got to put your spin on things. So yeah, it's got the superhero elements. It's got a mixture of sort of everything that I love, really. Superheroes, fantasy, a little bit of horror, and then horror, you know, kind of, there's always a bit of comedy depending on how twisted you are. So
sure. You know, Scream was, you know, very much a gory horror film that was a lot of fun to laugh at.
Right. Sam Raimi is one of my biggest just influences, I'd say. Growing up, he was one of my biggest directors I would love, whether I knew I was watching something of his or not.
Yeah, he's a twisted, funny man. So mini comic, I'm seeing that it's 11 pages, so obviously it's like half the thickness of your standard comic. But is it still, you know, the 8x10 kind of format, or?
Yes, sir. It'll be a 16-page book when it's completed. It's 11 pages of story. I'm going to have some extras in there.
Okay.
A couple character sheets, maybe some fan art. I've got some stuff cooking up that I'll release as the campaign goes along.
Ichthy5 is in the chat, says, this is something I'm surprised Claremont hasn't come up with for the X-Men. And yeah, because Claremont has come up with very similar things for the X-Men, you know, where Mojo has picked them up and put them in television shows, and Arcade has picked them up and put them in his games, but it's never been a role-playing game. It's never been like an escape room kind of situation, which I can only guess that that's what this is going to be here.
So the book, it takes place about 50% in the real world, and then 50% in the D&D realm, if you will. So like in-game, and I actually have in-game versions of the characters. I actually have something my colorist just got me, sort of a world premiere here I wanted to do just for the show.
Oh, let me share that over here. I see you I gotta keep reactivating my mouse for some reason.
Let me switch screens real quick, because I think I put it on the wrong one. But this is my first time doing
share here, so that's
okay.
You won't need to put that up if you don't want.
All right. Yes, sir.
Unless you want to drive.
No, it's about all right. Let me switch over to this other tab right here. Okay. All righty.
Oh, now look at that. Now they've been D&D-ified.
Yes. Right. So, you know, so many pages in, I can't say too much, obviously, but once the story gets going, you know, this is what you'll see. This is them as their D&D versions. This is where some of the humor comes in, as you can tell. Foxman is a gnome. Zoo Girl's a beastmaster. Triclops, he's the ranger. And of course, Madam Magic is the sorceress. Anthony Gambino.
The superpowers?
No, they have weapons, so they keep with their weapons. Yeah, like Foxman uses his claws, he just has his hands. But yeah, they use like swords and their you know, their equipment, if you will.
Okay. So Zoo Girl, she can't turn back into other animals in the D&D world or anything like that. She's
No.
D&D powers, but not her superpowers.
Correct.
That makes them have to think their way out of it.
Right. It was a fun little twist. It just sort of came out that way when I was writing it. It wasn't like I wish I had thought of that, so cleverly, where I was like, this will make it harder. But no, it just sort of came out that way. But I'm very pleased with it. This is one of my favorite panels in the whole book.
Yeah, that's very cool looking. And Madam Magic, of course, she's a sorceress, but it may be, magic has to be used a completely different way than her intuitive method of trying it. She's going to have to maybe focus differently, make different things happen. Yeah, and it's funny that I'm promoting this one right now because I'm in the middle of watching Sword Art Online, which is an anime where people get sucked into these MMORPGs and they're living in them and playing them by the rules. So it's
I've seen that first season of that show.
That's all you need
really,
to see.
That's the sad truth about that. I loved it, got into the second season, and as soon as it got started, I was like, okay, what happened to the other show I was watching?
Yeah, that's it. We don't need it. We didn't need this second part here. That is a really cool coloring piece. So that's a panel.
It is a panel. Yep, I had Anthony color it. He skipped ahead just a little bit, but I wanted to have something, just to premiere here on the show. And I thought you would like this, and I had him just cut the panel out for me.
Robert says there's a hint of Errol Otis in this art panel. I don't know who Errol Otis is, unfortunately.
Not sure.
But I do know, Robert, that you love these campaigns that have digital platforms available in them. And you cannot beat this digital comic. Yes, it's 16 pages, so it's a smaller comic, but it's $1. And and I say that to Robert because he's the guy he's got to get digital only. He has no room for long white boxes to carry out there on his job.
I respect it.
Works in the frontier, so if he's going to have things to read, it's going to be on the phone.
I like it. I'll read comics digitally as well. It's right. Sorry.
No, you interrupt anytime you want. It's your show. I'm just kind of traffic directing at times.
No, I was just say I read comics digitally as well. I got an iPad for the first time like last year ish, and I was like, all right, let me try this. I downloaded Comixology. I kind of enjoy it. I mean, it's got its pains when you're trying to flip through like a double page, like a splash page or something. That old chestnut. But
oh yeah,
I read Evil Ernie on there. First volume of that. It was pretty good.
I read a lot of PDFs because they get sent to me for review. So we get the Diamond, we get the Zenoscope stuff, and I've learned that first of all I've got my my big monitor up here now, and I say okay, go full screen, set the view to where it's like double page, but the first page shows up on the right side of the screen. So your very first view is like nothing. Let me see if I can do this stage right step. Nothing, and then page 1 or cover, and then inside cover and page 1. And that way, when you get those double-sized spreads, they at least take up the whole monitor, and you're not like all messed up and cattywamped with them.
I like.
But it takes some adjusting. I like holding them in my hands. I like getting an indie book in the mail and flipping through the pages. Look what I got just recently. I got my Indie Bolt Revolt.
Ooh, very cool.
I've been reading through lots of pages of this. This is gonna be fun.
I am halfway through Monster MD myself right now.
Oh yes, Monster MD. I'm going out to buy a hat or a jacket. I haven't figured out which yet, but this has got to go on something. And of course, once you got one, you're gonna get more. And speaking of more, you have one. You have a pack, $15 packet, which is the not the most expensive tier on here, but the biggest tier with the books involved. So $15, you're getting the physical, the digital. Let me scroll up just a little bit here. You're getting this sticker, which is your logo. Fairly basic on the logo, but still stylized. And it's what's DC's just a D and a C. So come on, we don't have to get fancy really. This is the rectangular one here is the refrigerator magnet. I don't know if it's going to be a rectangle or if it's going to be die cut around the words. I know the sticker mule will die cut.
It'll probably be rectangle. I'm still hammering out the details on it right now.
Cool. And this is going to be the patch. You have a patch of the Game Master.
Yes, sir.
Now, is that round or cut to it, or is that going to be a square patch?
That's a round patch. I'm just not great with Photoshop. Putting that thing together with all of the perks on there, I'm actually quite proud of that. Just because I'm brand new to this Photoshop business here, but it'll be a round patch. Yep.
I can't use Photoshop to save my life. I do everything in PowerPoint. You know, all my slides, all my videos, I do in PowerPoint. So
you wouldn't be able to tell, honestly.
It's
especially with that logo work there. That looks good.
It works for me. You also get the battle map and 2 prints. So this is one of the prints. If I'm
yes, sir.
Yep. That looks awesome. So who's done the art on this one?
That is a fella named Samrat Dots. He was introduced to me by another friend of mine, and Samrat, he's an Indian guy, and I think just the fact that he's all the way on the other side of the world is why he's not a known entity. He hasn't done any major crowdfunders, but I've seen some of his sequential art. He's done some stuff for people that just never saw the light of day, unfortunately, but I was able to get in touch with him, and he did me those 2 prints, and really great artist.
It looks really good. Kayla Adrienne is in the chat. Welcome, Kayla. Glad to see you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right though. You know, as connected as we are globally by the internet, there's a lot of artists around the world on the other side. I wrote, this was 20 years ago. I was going to be a comic book writer 20 years ago before I just went into the whole novel business. A fellow wanted to publish comics. I wrote a mini series called Hero Club, which was basically the public school's answer to all the private and government institutions that were taking up all the superpowered children because there were so many of them that they were losing funding. And Rajiv Golay from Nepal, submitted his Marvel tryout book work, beautiful looking Spider-Man, did some character designs, which I've lost and he's lost and nobody has them. They were outstanding. And then the publisher got all flaky and nothing ever happened. I still have like the 3rd issue of the miniseries on a zip file. I'm like, wish I had all of it. I would now's the time to actually get out there and do it again. But I'm not going to now.
Are y'all still in touch? I haven't heard of him. Or did he go on to be an artist? Or
I don't know where he went to. Sort of lost touch with him when the artist wouldn't send him, the money. It was the way of the world. You quit sending the artist money, the artist quit sending you art.
Sadly. Got to pay them.
Yeah, you do. And that hasn't changed in the last 20, 25 years.
Right.
This is the 2nd print?
So this is the cover. This was done entirely by Jacob Whittingham, who's the interior artist. I felt like he should have the cover just because he drew the book. I was like, all right, you can have the cover too, buddy. He's a really great artist. This is his 2nd book. His first one, he's still working on technically. It's a much longer piece, essentially a screenplay that's being transferred over to a comic book. It's kind of cool, really. Keep your eyes out there.
I'm looking at Madam Magic, and I'm having Doctor Strange flashbacks. I'm like, I never want to get magic superpowers. I would get so many hand cramps trying to do crap.
Yeah, that's one of his favorite poses. If you get familiar with Jacob's art, he's a metalhead, I think. It's hard to get a hold of him. He's Australian, so I can only keep him via printout, which is this is of course Crocodile Dundee. He's kind of just grown a part of my set, this version of Jacob Whittingham. So I keep him with me, take him on streams, The Australian time difference makes it hard to get a hold of him sometimes.
Yes, it does. I actually had to add an international phone package to my plan because I was calling, Australian post offices and stuff for distribution deals and things. So I'm looking for the 2nd print. Is that up here yet?
It is actually further down below. I put it down below just to keep people
going the wrong direction. So there's the cover. Here's some interior artwork.
Yes, sir. Yep. Page 1 there.
Now who's the guy walking in? That's not the game master.
Yeah, that's the game master. That's just him from behind.
They're in handcuffs. I see that now. They're cuffed to the table.
Right. Yeah, that's sort of the Saw element of it. As you can see, they're sitting in front of the table. It's loosely implied, but I mean, you get it. You'll see it throughout the story how they're forced to play the game. And
yeah,
I don't want to spoil too much, but
no, don't do that. But this is a lot like this last panel right here. I'm pointing to my monitor, like y'all can see my hand. This is very evocative of early, like single-digit Justice League of America. When Kanjar-Ro has the Justice League at a table, all facing each other, and they're disappearing as he's playing a chess game. This whole thing about capturing heroes and forcing the game is it's a well-worn trope. It keeps working.
I like it. I'm having fun with it.
So you've got your battle map here.
Yes.
You went with squares and not hexagons. Bold move.
Yeah, I used this website called Incarnate to design the map, and that was kind of the standard thing that they had. I'm printing it on a Z-fold brochure, so it'll come out. You'll have to open it up and sort of lay it down. It won't be terribly big, but
yeah, like a pamphlet, and then you just kind of accordion it out.
There you go.
Like the old Rand McNally maps that we used to have to unfold in the car, just not as many. So here's the Patchwork Comics. Where'd you come up with the name Patchwork?
It's sort of meant to be. I mean, it might be kind of lame, but it's sort of meant to be like a quilt, like a patchwork quilt. The various pieces coming together, different pieces coming together to make a nice, or beautiful piece of art. Sure.
So how many pieces do you have yet? I mean, is this your first comic? I didn't check the.
This is my first comic. Yeah, we've got a mine who's doing something. He's not crowdfunding. It's a Brazilian dude, my buddy Leonardo Castillo. It's a really simple. It's really more of a kid's book. It's called Alphonse. We can discuss that, but it won't be coming to crowdfunding or anything.
Okay. Frankie B. Washington is doing the Game Master patch. I'm hearing more of that name. Where am I hearing more of that name? Somebody's doing trading cards with him. Global Frequency is doing trading cards with him.
Yep. Frankie's pretty awesome. Frankie was one of the first people that I contacted after I got a hold of Jacob. I just kept initially. So we started this about 6 months ago, and initially. Before then, I had just seen Frankie on a few, mainly Alterna streams. I think he's done work on Log. I think he's done some Mighty Mascots stuff. But basically, he was super professional and, was giving lots of great advice on the stream. And I just liked his artwork and his vibe. And I had him do me this patch.
All right. Well, that'll probably be the patch that goes next to my Monster patch. And then we're getting to the deals here. So it's a $1 for the digital, $10 for the Adventures pack, which is everything but the patch. $15 is everything with the patch, and that everything is the digital, the physical, the logo sticker, the Spells and Superheroes print that Samrat did, an 11 by. Okay, I thought there were 2 prints, but maybe
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's embarrassing. Edit that. It'll be 2 in the playable battle. My bad. Got that new. I just haven't.
You're roboting out there, Gingy. And I think you're frozen. I hope you're. I don't know if it's you frozen or me frozen now. I always smooth. No. Hello. Your face is frozen, and we can hear your voice kind of. Oh, now you moved. Man. Now you're moving.
Hello. Is this better?
A little bit better, yeah.
Sorry.
So, I guess I was looking up here and I saw Prince 2, and that's
there is 2. Yes, I'm sorry. I just released that print a few days ago, and I have forgot to edit it in the pack. It didn't originally. I've been ripping things out to kind of treatment of pain. just forgot to edit that on that pack. But it is in the perk, so anybody that gets it is going to get that second print.
Cool. Okay, so there are 2 prints. There's a battle map. You get
Yes.
4x4 Game Master fabric patch by Frankie B, and the 2-inch by 3.5-inch Spells and Superhero logo magnet, which is this right here. That'll look good on the fridge. And then what do we? This is the second print. Okay.
Yes. And let me just again reassure. As soon as we get off of here, I'm gonna edit that up. But yeah, that everybody that backs physically will be getting both of those prints. Yes.
And Samrat did this one as well?
Yes, sir. Yep. Both Samrat did both of those, and then both were colored by Anthony Gambino, my colorist on the book. Yep.
I like that. This was almost the one that I picked for the background of the of the thumbnail here, because I had the logo up here, but I was like, yeah, I'm covering their faces. And
do you get the homage? I'm not sure many people are picking up on it, which is fine. But it's do you have any guesses? Can I try to quiz you? It's your show, but...
I did not have any idea that this was homage to something, but it's one of those things I'll know it when I see it, won't I?
Maybe it's supposed to be from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. The poster from that movie.
Okay, I'll have now. I'm going to pull it up.
Right, I think the Shredder and I can't remember who's in the background, and you see the turtles all kind of standing around a broken container.
Yep.
But here we put the team standing around the game board. I really wanted them to have fun, to have a picture of them having fun. And Samrat, I think this is probably my favorite print too. Just because the team looks like everybody's so happy playing a game.
There it is. Oh, I don't want it to be full size. I just wanted it to scroll. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. I get it.
Yeah, just some fun. Samrat knocked this one out of the park as well. I keep having to restrain myself from just commissioning him to do more prints for me.
I can understand the feeling there, because I'd be the same way if I had access to an artist and the money to do it. So, can you draw me one of these? Can you draw me one of these? Now I'm surprised that since
that's a good segue into that. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I'm just you're right. We are getting into the artist commissions here. I'm just surprised that one of the stretch goals isn't a Samrat commission.
It was originally, but Samrat has some daytime. He's got a regular job, so he's hard to make commitments with. And with him being on the other side of the world, we felt like it may have been harder to maybe get everything. We didn't want to leave any mistakes up to chance. Jacob is also from Australia, but he agreed to do a commission. His is probably just going to be just digital. If you'd like to get the physical from him, that'll have to be between the backer and Jacob. But anybody that backs Anthony, because he's here in the U.S. and we can pretty much guarantee that it'll get to you. Not that Jacob's going to not get you it, but we just didn't want anything to get lost in the shipping.
Yeah,
so
the shipping's going to be the pain.
Right. So Anthony's does include, and both of these commissions, I should say, include the entirety of the book or the whole package. So if you get either one of these, you'll get, the $15, the featured tier.
I'm glad you
as
said
well
that,
as the physical,
because this didn't say that. So I was like, well, okay, it doesn't say it, but you do get the book if you go for the commissions.
I think Anthony's does say that. I'm not sure. You may got me there again.
I see. Look, it also includes a complete campaign as well as the physical commission art piece. So the complete campaign is the book, of course.
The book, right, right. I will clarify the language there.
Yeah, and you do say here very clearly that this is the digital only for him. So no surprises on this one for anybody who actually reads. So we're looking at the stretch goals. We still have goals that are locked. What the hell? $750. We got to get this to $500, folks. This thing hasn't funded yet. It's flexible, so I'm guessing you're going to do it anyway. But
right, it's I feel confident that we're going to get the goal. I did I sort of was following that old saying, which is escaping me now, but I basically hired a team that, knows a lot more than me. So I feel really confident with the book. I personally love the way that it came out. And yeah, I mean, I did a lot of sort of soul searching on the idea. I know what I'm offering is kind of strange in terms of the page count. That's really the only thing that throws it off for people is, that they're not sure if they want to invest in a mini comic, which I honestly understand. I'm a writer, so I'm also a story guy. So for me, I like to get invested in stories. I also like short, fun, complete things that, for me, I want to get my money's worth. I'm a backer as well. So I put all this stuff into account when crafting, and these are all sort of the things that I'm going to hit on when we get ready to deliver and just as we go along here.
Yeah, I mean, you're only 6 pages short of a full-size regular floppy, but even so, the price has been reduced to a level where, it's like, I don't think anybody should have any qualms about paying the price for it. They might want more story than what they're getting into, but if you needed more pages, I'm sure you could come up with them. This is not going to happen, is it?
Well, probably not, but I might end up just doing it anyways. The only reason I have this mustache is just to make people laugh. You probably can't tell, but I've got these, I call them dumb cowboy things. I don't grow here, so I just let this grow out just to make people laugh. I'll turn around in public, and sometimes people will see my mustache and just start laughing. So that's fine with me. So that perk, it's basically I'm just gonna, if we hit the goal, and like I want to shave this off anyway, so like I said, I might just do it for fun. If anybody's interested,
get you some mustache wax and do a little snidely whiplash thing out to the sides. Just let it go completely horizontal.
Just a copper grill brush on my face. As I've been told.
Exactly. Why not? Kayla's saying that this is Anthony is a great artist and good to see a deal. What a deal! Yeah, the campaign has great value to it. It's I don't think nobody's going to complain about a $15 packet that's going to get you that much material. I
was pretty inspired by people like Rob Geronimo with the Wirehead campaign. When I was getting into crowdfunding, I was looking at that and I was like, wow, this seems like a really great value. I mean, his was $50, so you get a lot more, and you did get a whole lot more. His campaign did really well too. So, and I get that I'm not at Rob Geronimo's level at all. Big ups to Rob. I got some art on my wall here from him. But yeah, so I tried to, like I said, I'm a backer myself, so I tried to be respectful to everybody and sort of offer some of the things. Like, I'm a print guy. If you offer prints on a campaign, you've pretty much kind of you've greatly upped your chances of me backing.
Yeah,
some people don't like those though.
Yeah, but with prints, and for whatever reason, it's the same with covers. Artists do great covers and great prints. They generally don't do as well with panels. Usually when people go for panels, because there's so much to draw and it has to be done so quickly, you go for serviceable over, beauty piece. George Perez is one of the exceptions. John Byrne is an exception. They can do covers and panels just fine. We're granted, I don't like it when I pick up a book with a gorgeous cover and it sucks inside because of a different artist, but I'll accept serviceable.
Right. That was one of the things actually why we had made sure to have Jacob do the cover. Is that's just something that I've heard people say. It's because we almost made that print we were just looking at, the cover. We almost went with that for the cover, but I was like, oh man, people are going to get the cover and then open the book and the art's not going to match. And I know I've just heard people say, man, I hate when I open a book and it's not the artist on the cover. It's like, all right, I get that.
Oh yeah, but Jacob's art doesn't suck. I mean,
this is not at all.
It is a different style, and it's just as detailed, but it is a different physiognomy to the characters that he gives, because everybody draws characters different. I would say, Jacobs is more of an indie superhero style, and Samrat's got more of a almost Marvel, almost DC level kind of style. Like this would be like a DC third tier kind of book, like the sword and sorcery stuff they used to do back in the day.
Yeah, I know Samrat's really big into David Finch. I think he's also big into Brett Booth, but I know David Finch is like his go-to kind of artist.
Yeah, I love the giant dice here in front of him. I know this is not a literal picture from the story. This is more metaphor, but it's really nice looking. So
Thank you.
So why do you want to do comics, man? I mean, comics will break your heart, kid.
I have heard that a lot. I feel like I've seen it with a few of my friends. I feel like my day is coming at some point, and ultimately, that's for me why I want to do comics. I've always loved comics. I've always loved superheroes. I've always loved storytelling. I grew up in the '90s, so the trifecta cartoons of Batman, Spider-Man, X-Men, the animated series.
Oh yeah,
those were sort of my introduction. Then you get all the Batman movies. When I was like 12 or so, I got a hold of the John Romita Jr., Michael Straczynski, the Amazing Spider-Man. That really hooked me up. Yeah, I love comic books. As far as like the long-term viability of it, for me, it's certainly not a race. It's a it's all, you hear that lame saying, it's all about the journey, not the destination. Yeah, I see this as a long-term investment. I'm really influenced by Peter at Alterna. It took him probably 10 years to get to a point to where he's able to actually sustain himself, and then another 5 years now. I think they're on 15. So to me, it's I look at it like this. I'm going to be living hopefully for the remainder of however long I'm going to be here. So I want to be doing something that I love, really, to be honest with you.
Well, you're starting at the right age. I mean, Stan Lee was 45 when he invented Spider-Man. So, it's never too late, but, the earlier you can start, the better it is. Evil Animosity is in the chat saying, it's about the money. Well, yeah.
It's all about the cash.
Yes. Well, it's the journey, not the destination, but there's rest stops along the way, and they have cash machines. And the journey sucks if you don't stop every once in a while. You get tired of it.
Right.
So stop and enjoy it. I know this is a one-shot, a fun shot. Do you have any further plans for these characters, or was this was the idea and the next time is going to be something entirely different with different people?
So that's a great question, actually. I have other fun shots wrote. When I wrote this one, I did a few others. I went with this one because this is the one I like the most. But as far as that question, I wrote this story just solely to be a one shot because I didn't necessarily want to use it as a launching off point. But I've had so many people ask that question that like last week I talked to Jacob about it. I was like, hey, bro, we're getting a lot of people that keep asking, are y'all having any plans for it? So we talked about it, and more than likely, yeah, we'll probably do something with him. We have another story we want to do when he finishes up his current piece that he's doing now for that other writer. But when he finishes that, we're going to do something else. And then, yeah, we will probably do, we've already kind of kicked out the story beats, so it's kind of ready to go in a way. I got to do a lot more writing, obviously, but we have an idea as to how it would even end already. So yeah, it's looking like it's a possibility.
All right. Are they the only characters you're going to be using in your imprint? You're going to make more comics with different people, different characters?
Oh yeah. This I'm not solely a superhero style publisher. I went with the superhero story because I love superheroes. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to do what I love here. But as far as characters go, like I'll if we do another story with these guys, I'll definitely keep them around. If people are really interested in them, I can do more fun shots with them. But yeah, I want to tell other stories as well. And like I said, I've got other fun shots that aren't superhero related. I'd like to branch out and do other genres. I'm interested in maybe hiring other writers. I've definitely got my eye on other artists. So yeah,
become a full-fledged publishing empire.
Not yet.
I'll put that back up there on the picture. Oh, I suppose You know, one thing I haven't done yet is refresh the page.
Hooray!
Let's see if it's changed any at all while we've had this thing up here. 343, timpani roll.
About
343. Okay,
yeah, all right.
absolutely
worries.
nothing for you. We have wasted
okay.
your time.
Oh,
But maybe they don't know how to get there, folks. If you don't know how to get to this campaign, this very very extremely inexpensive and high quality campaign, and I'm not saying that
very.
lightly. I mean both of those. The link is right below the video. You can click on it. It won't take you away from the video. It opens in a brand new window. You can still hear us talk about this comic. Go through and put your funding through. Not miss a single minute of all of this. What have you
How
got?
is Jacob? Well, Jacob's got to feed his crocodiles somehow. So we got to get this book. Otherwise, his baby is gonna die, and I don't think anybody wants that on their
Nobody wants tonight. That. He's got to buy giant spiders to feed to the crocodile.
Exactly.
That's the thing about Australia, man. Everything out there wants to kill you.
I live in Florida, and
that's definitely Australia South.
That is what I keep hearing, which is really funny. Is people keep saying, it's like, yeah, I mean, I've seen alligators, crossing the road on the way to school one morning. They hold up traffic. Like, all right, you got to wait for the gator.
Yeah, and you got palmetto bugs down there that are like the size of your shoe.
Yes, it's like, horrible.
I saw one of those in North Carolina. It was like the size of the sole of my shoe. I'm like, oh look, some kid dropped a plastic beetle they bought in the toy department, and it's like holy, kill it with fire.
Right. Your flamethrower.
I'm trying to think what else. You've got the map, which begs the question: what are we going to do with it?
You will be able to place little miniatures on it. It's not very big, so you won't have a whole lot of room. But if you'd like to place little miniatures on it, you can. It's meant to be more of a set piece. I'm having the backside design to look like the sepia tone kind of worn, sort of dungeon map you'd find. So.
Just wondering if one of those extra pages beyond the story pages would be like a campaign, for play the campaign that the characters have played, and can you make it through the way they did?
Man, okay. Well, perhaps we'll see. We don't know, do we?
It's a $20 tier if you get the campaign, because then you got to ship some dice.
That would be fantastic.
In a bag with spells and superheroes printed right on the bag. Okay, I've succeeded. I always spend somebody's money during these interviews.
That's really not a bad idea at all, actually. I mean, I wish I'd have thought of it, and I hope you wouldn't mind if I use that idea.
No, everything I say on the stream is out there in the wild. Take it and run.
Yeah. No, I mean, that would be great. Really, that could be something fun.
Yeah, you could play the battle out on the map and involve yourself in the story. Just don't Jumanji yourself and roll the dice and look up and there's your 4 superheroes standing around you and like, oh, I'm really in it now.
Hopefully you'd survive with those heroes, but we don't know. The dungeon master is a worthy foe.
He looks he looks kind of like Mike Miller here, actually, but
he's a mixture of I'm not too familiar with the character, but it was his look. Dr. Light. It was like a newer version of Dr. Light I saw, and the Monarch from Venture Bros.
Okay, yeah, I can get that. So yeah, he's kind of got that like puppet master pose above them too, where you can almost tell that there's supposed to be invisible strings going to them as he's, manipulating them along.
Right.
So is the game master? Game master wouldn't appear again. I mean, they're going to defeat him. So your next book will be an entirely different kind of theme, I'm guessing.
The other stories I've got are D&D sort of themed. I'm trying to do stuff with twists and that have an interest on them, so that it's not just another 10-page story. But I don't have any, as it stands right now, I don't have any other sort of superhero character stories. I am writing another superhero story, but that's a full page thing that's down the road that I'm not worried about anytime soon here. But superheroes aren't my main interest. Really, I got into comics to write horror. That's kind of my big feel. But I also love fantasy. I grew up on Lord of the Rings when those movies came out. When Fellowship of the Rings came out, we had right on the street I lived. There's like one street behind us and one street in front of us. Kids that I had never seen before and had never seen since all came out of the woodwork that weekend, and everybody found some kind of makeshift weapon. I used a curtain rod and would pull it out, and we had this big, huge like multi-street battle. It was awesome, and I mean, I just love fantasy. That's like a day that I look back and like it's probably just one of my big imaginative moments. I don't know. I love fight scenes for those kind of reasons. Just getting into putting yourself in the moment. Something I like to do when writing.
I'd like to have seen an overhead shot of that day just to see how much it matches the film. With the Battle of Gondor. Was it the Battle of Gondor? I don't know.
It was small skirmishes all over the neighborhood. You'd have that, and then you'd have just roving gangs of like 2 or 3 kids walking together. You'd see somebody down the street, and then you just charge at each other, sticks, dirt clods.
Nobody got hurt. Yeah.
No.
All in good war with good humor.
Just good old Florida man fun. What more can you ask for?
There you go. Yeah. Okay. There's only one tier to go here, and Kayla's right. It's the Don't Go Alone tier.
Thank you, Kayla.
Just click that. It's $15. You spend $10 more than that on any other campaign out there for just a comic book. And I'm betting, that let me put this beautiful panel back up here while I click through it, just in case my credit card information is up there. We don't want to broadcast that. Holy cow, $5 for shipping to the U.S. So the whole thing is $20 in total. This is a no-brainer, folks. So yeah, that's what I just said. Kayla, his shipping is cheap. So
we kept it in the U.S. as well this time around. The sad thing is I've got a lot of people on this campaign and just friends that I know that are outside the U.S. that won't be able to get my book, but possibly in the future it'll be something I look at. I just wanted to keep things simple and manageable this time around for sure.
I completely understand. Yeah, because it's shipping can be a chore, and especially when you get into the international shipping. That's kind of our business, but we sort of really shine when it's coming into the U.S., not going out of the U.S. So my screen is kind of acting funky here, so I'm going to have to check that one out and see what's going on. Oh, never mind. It all seems to be fine now.
Thank you, Kayla. I appreciate that you agree. Honestly, I'm really, really satisfied with the progress of the campaign. I think it's going along better than I expected, to be honest. I didn't think I was going to go out here and get crushed, but I kind of thought it was going to be stranger at first. And this is going to sound odd, but I watch a lot of Shark Tank. And one of the things they talk about on that show is, and I'm not a real businessman or anything, but I think sort of with a fun shot, I'm having to explain what the idea is that I'm doing, which is a mini comic. And I think that's like educating people on it. And that, from what I understand, takes time. So I knew it was going to be a bit of, it was going to take probably at least the 30 days. But like I said, we're doing great. So thank you, each and every one of my backers. You guys, you're making the dream come true. Thank you.
Shark Tank's an apt comparison because it's like every campaign is a Shark Tank kind of deal. It's you're taking it to the financiers, which is all the customers that are out there. All the backers, all the would-be backers, please back my book.
All the sharks out there. Can take a bite at old Gingy. I don't taste too bad. Gingers have flavor. We might not have soul, but we have flavor.
Okay, I got my page back up. I don't know what was going on there. It was weird. It was giving me strange page refresh messages, which I did not like seeing. So, how close are you to having the book completed? I meant to ask that a long time ago.
So the book is 100% drawn, inked, and all that. Jacob's work is totally done. Anthony's just coloring it. He's working on another project, so he's splitting his time right now. It'll probably be done probably in 2 to 3 months, maybe. It just depends. Anthony, he's great. He started out and hit me with coloring both covers and the first page and the character sheets as soon as I hired him. Basically, like the next 2 days. So, yeah,
because you got an estimated date of February of 2022, but of course the digital is December, which means if you're shipping out the digital, then the book's done. It's just not printed.
Yep. I wanted to give a little extra time on the printing just because every day on YouTube you hear about somebody's having some kind of issue. So, I just didn't want to over promise and or what is it? Over promise, I think.
Yeah, it's far better to say you'll get it in February and they get it in January than to say you'll get it in February and they get it the next year.
Right.
I plan to have the book done by Christmas of 2021. 2020. I'm giving myself extra time, so Christmas of 2020.
Right.
Where's my frog book?
Frog books. Where's my chicken fist?
Yeah, I finally got my chicken book.
Really? All right.
Well, technically I got somebody else's chicken book because they got so tired of waiting on it that when it arrived, they didn't want it. They didn't even open the Gemini. They're just like, $15 to the first person I'd give this to. I'm like, done.
Wow.
Send it along, and I got it. It was like, it was a beautifully drawn book. Could have had more story. Yeah, one year later, there's probably plenty of memes out there of like skeletons collecting dust, waiting for my X book.
Right.
From crowdfunding.
Bats flying out of the mouth.
Yeah, so far I've been pretty lucky. I mean, I'm not really waiting on any book that's super late. I just posted history recently of things I've backed over the last 2 to 3 years, and there's only one of them that's like over a year old, and to be honest, I will never get that book because the writer's in jail.
Okay.
You can't crowdfund comics from the pokey.
It's hard to do, I hear. Crowdfunding's hard enough as it is already.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get internet privileges. So
I think my most anticipated book is probably Wirehead. That's the one that pulled me into crowdfunding. I love the 80s slasher horror vibe, and black and white too. Lucifer Storm's channel, that was one. That's sort of where I trickled into all this mess, was looking for writing tutorials. And then I came across his interview with Rob Geronimo. And then from there, just kind of fell into this hole here.
Yeah, Lucifer Storm's doing a horror book, since that's your jam. He's doing that Ed Gein. What is it? Demon Hunter? Demon Slayer?
Demon Hunter. Yeah,
Demon Hunter.
I think it's Demon Hunter. Might be Demon Slayer. I think it's Demon Hunter.
See, I'm getting Ed Gein Demon Hunter mixed up with Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter, and boy, there's a crossover in the making. Man,
I feel like that's going to happen. It could be a good time.
That has to happen now.
Crossover of the century.
Now we're making crowdfundings for other people. That's not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be taking care of this crowdfunding. Mark, I don't know what else to ask you on this. I feel like I've kind of going here a bit now, but
it's okay.
I'll give it one last refresh reload here.
Let's go. Come on. Let's blow on it for good luck.
Something's decidedly wrong here now. I know it. So something's not refreshing. I'm going to double check some things because I kind of know that I backed it.
Well, thank you, RJ. Really,
I'm not
really
seeing it show up.
Really do appreciate it. You're my lucky number 20. Thank you, sir.
Well, if it goes through, that's what it was telling me, is that it couldn't verify my PayPal. I'm like, what you talking about, Willis? that card's been locked in there for 3 years. So I'll have to double check and see what they're doing wrong. I think I might have clicked twice on it or something. I don't know. In which case it wouldn't have gone through at all. All right. Well, that being the case, Mark, is there anything more about the campaign that I didn't ask you that people need to know about?
Stay tuned for the 23rd. I'll have an announcement on the 23rd. Let's see. Aside from that, it'll be about the campaign. But aside from that, I guess I could promote my YouTube channel real quick.
Absolutely.
I have a Sunday show with my animator Pedro. He did that channel there, or I'm sorry, he did my trailer for Spells and Superheroes.
That's a good looking trailer too, by the way. Very
Pedro. Yeah, he's a great price. He's all about working with the indie guys, and yeah, if you were interested in it, he would definitely do something for you. But yeah, he's my co-host on Sunday. We have a Sunday morning interview stream. It's more like a coffee and talk type deal. It's at 10 a.m. every Sunday morning. It's 10 a.m. Central Time, which is my time. So yeah, aside from that,
people here too.
All right, Central Man's. I like it.
Yeah.
But that's it. Yep.
All right. Well, Mark, thank you for bringing Spells and Superheroes over here tonight. Again, looks like a real fun book. I can't imagine that it's not going to get funded officially. So we'll just wait it out nervously and tensely and anxiously and all that nail biting stuff. Yes. Folks in the chat, appreciate you being here so much. We don't have a show without you. So we are always glad you're here. We'll remind you once again that the link to the campaign is below. And if you read further below that, if you're just really bored and you've clicked and you're like, well, what else does all this other stuff say? You will find ways to support the channel. I never ask you to like the channel. I never ask you to like the videos, because your likes are your likes and your dislikes are your dislikes. But if you share it, that would be great, because that puts Mark in front of more eyeballs. And that's the whole point of this anyway. If you like the channel, you can become a member for 99 cents a month, and we will ship you out stickers and keychains and buttons and more than 99 cents worth of stuff that month. It's the only tier we've got, because I'm not a creator. I'm not making toys and trading cards to give you every month for that. So we just took the little minimum because we could. It was optional, so we did it, and we made it up there. We also have links to Critical Blast Publishing. We are a publishing house. We have books that authors have written and are on Amazon, and no, they're not self-published kind of things. They're, we go through Ingram Spark, and we have hardcover and softcover, and they're completely legit. And we're proud to announce that, after a year of nothingness where everybody stayed home, our novelist Stephen. I'm totally spacing on everything tonight. Stephen J. Mitchell. I almost said Stephen J. Miller because I still had Mike S. Miller's name on the back of my head from that picture. Stephen J. Mitchell and his book Bulletproof. Stephen was finally able to get to conventions this past weekend and did really well selling copies of the book there. So if you are interested in superhero young adult novels, not graphic novels, but sit down and actually read words, Bulletproof is definitely the book for you. Young Cody's 16. He wakes up to find out that he's bulletproof. Since there are superheroes in his world, he decides he's going to become one. Unfortunately, Cody has the attention span of a ferret on pixie sticks and requires that his friends help keep him focused so that the terrorists who want his secret don't kill him, because just because you're invulnerable doesn't mean you're immortal. Also, you'll find the most recent anthology we've done, which is, guess what, Mark? Horror.
Hey.
And
all right.
20 short stories of people's encounters with Old Scratch, called The Devil You Know. And, we're looking forward to doing a follow-up on that with The Devil You Know Better, probably early to the middle of next year, if not sooner. All depends on how, chips fall with everything else I've got to take care of business-wise. So, those are all Amazon, and those Amazon links are affiliate links. So not only does buying the book help the channel, but Amazon even kicks back a little bit more to us. So we're double dipping.
Yeah.
And that's the longest I've ever talked about finance on the channel. So
It was a pleasure hearing all that.
Oh,
Thank
I'm
you for
sure it
sharing.
was. Everybody's just already logged. You know, the replay people have already quit. They're like, okay, he's shilling now. We can quit. We've seen the thing. We've backed the campaign, and
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
so thank you for putting up with all of that from my mouth. And other than that,